More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers, or Fuufu Ijou episode 5. And this episode again took the whole relationship between Akari and Jiro to another level. I guess this is going to be the theme throughout the whole resting of the anime, that each episode is going to step up things a little bit more and more and more. But man, I gotta say, the step up from the last episode to this episode is very high, because the thing that happened in the last episode, it was not like it was not tense, or it was not like it was not a complex ball of emotions between all the characters. But this episode took it to another level, because the interaction, the whole ball of emotion, the whole tense moments were even into another level. So yeah, that is actually pretty surprising. I do expect, like I said at the beginning, that the theme throughout the whole resting of the anime will be each episode taking things a little bit further and further in the complex feelings arena, if you can call it like that. Of course, some of you might say, well, that is to be expected, because as each episode progresses, as each episode passes by, Jiro and Akari will get their feelings out there more and more. That is to be expected, but that is not what I'm talking about. I mean, like, each episode will do a better job of, or not a better job, but a more, how can I say it, a more delicate job of demonstrating the feelings between each of the characters. Yeah, that is what I mean by it. So yeah, in this episode, I guess I would describe it as the episode that shows us Akari the most confused out of all the episodes we have seen. This is the episode where we really see Akari struggle, where we really see Akari really confused on what she's feeling. I mean, throughout the whole episode, she's just questioning and questioning and questioning herself, not only by her friends, but by Jiro and by Shiori when she sees Shiori and Jiro talking, and then by herself when she starts questioning herself again. So yeah, this is the theme throughout the whole episode. This is the theme of Akari basically fighting herself into, or not so much fighting. This is the episode where we see Akari sort of questioning herself, but at the same time just letting loose, if I can call it like that. Letting loose in letting her emotions ride away. She's letting, in this episode, the emotions basically dictate what she does, because throughout the whole episode we see her being more straightforward, more than she already is, because she's already a pretty straightforward person, as we all know. But this episode demonstrates again that Akari is getting more and more and more comfortable, and that she's getting to accept more and more that she's starting to like Jiro. Well, she's getting more comfortable with the way she's acting around Jiro. And although she doesn't fully accept right now that she likes Jiro, because of course she's still questioning herself, she's still confused on what she's feeling. She's on that stage that she sort of knows but doesn't want to accept, and that is why now that she's in that stage, she can let a little bit more loose. Before, she didn't even thought she liked Jiro, and that's why she acted a little bit, not cold, because she's always been straightforward, but a little bit more restrained. Now that she's in that phase that she sort of knows but doesn't want to accept, or is avoiding reality, she's a little bit more straightforward. Of course, needless to say that when she fully accepts that she likes Jiro, well, she's even going to be even more straightforward. She's going to be all over Jiro. So yeah, she's in this stage now that lets her be a little bit more straightforward, that already lets her slip a couple of things that she doesn't want to say, that makes her think about Jiro all the time, because even her friends tell her that she's always looking at Jiro, that she is sort of starting to like Jiro, and she doesn't want to accept it, or at least she doesn't realize it. And although people may think that this episode is only focused around Akari and the way she's feeling, you might be wrong, because yes, Akari's feelings and Akari's emotions are shown very clear to us. They are shown very explicitly to us throughout the whole episode. But if you really analyze the whole episode, you will also see this episode also focuses a lot on Jiro in the way he's feeling around, Akari, Shiori, his emotions, his feelings, and everything around him. The way they handle Jiro in this episode is a little bit more, I guess you can say, conservative, but there are a couple of scenes here and there that actually show the way Jiro is feeling about Shiori and about Akari. For example, one of those scenes is at the end of the episode when he confesses to Akari that he's not doing this because of Shiori. He's doing this because of her, because he wants to help Akari out. He wants to help her out. He genuinely does care for Akari, and that is the reason why Akari reacted in that way. She reacted in a surprised and, of course, grateful way. So that is one way that the episode shows us. The other way the episode showed us was when Jiro was basically scolding Akari for not caring enough about studying, when Akari said to Jiro that they were going to a karaoke because a guy invited them, well, Jiro responded that he was a guy too and that he cared for her. That is another way that the episode is demonstrating us that of course Jiro actually does care. That is showing us that of course Jiro can actually feel jealous. And yeah, there are a couple of scenes here and there. For example, when he always brings up Minami because of course he's jealous when he is speaking to Akari. So yeah, although it is not so much out there like Akari is, Jiro is showing progress in his emotions, in his feeling, in how he is feeling about Akari. He's feeling jealous, he worries for her, and he genuinely does actually like her. Of course, he also doesn't know that he actually likes her, but sooner rather than later he will come to the realization that he actually does feel that way. But of course, at the same time, that doesn't mean that until this point he's lost interest in Shiori, because that is not the case. We see in this episode that he does still care about her, that he does still feel excited when he's around her. That shows us that yeah, I mean, he does still care about her. We don't know the fullest thing that he cares about her until this moment, because there wasn't that much of a sentimental or a romantic interaction between Shiori and Jiro in this episode to fully assess what exactly are the full extent of Jiro's feeling to Shiori. So we cannot say how fully, I guess you can say, devoted to Shiori he is, but at the very least you can say that he cares for Shiori because he does feel a little bit excited around her. But at the same time, I would dare to say that when push comes to shove, I think he will care more about Akari's feelings. You know, if the situation gives it that they two both are in a situation that they can further their relationship to more than just friend, I would dare to say that Jiro will actually think about Akari and will not actually continue the action that he's about to take. Of course, that is all speaking in a hypothetical scenario. But yeah, I would dare to say that he actually cares at this point a little bit more about Akari than the episode is giving to us. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, basically summarizing the whole episode, this episode is basically about Akari and her struggling with the feeling that she's feeling. She's in that stage that she sort of knows already but doesn't want to accept that she likes Jiro. That is why in this episode she's a little bit more, I guess you can say, desperate, a little bit more straightforward with her actions. I think I haven't said this until now, but I like how the anime handles ecchi, because other animes just throw ecchi as a fan service, just there out of nowhere. You can have a serious scene and then it gets very ecchi for no reason. But for Fuufu Ijou, that is actually not the case. I mean, I guess you cannot call it ecchi because it is not like they are showing everything from, I guess you can say, Akari or from Shiori. But regardless of what I think, they handle the ecchi in Fuufu Ijou very well because they put it in a scene where actually matters. For example, in this episode, they put it when Akari was getting desperate, and those scenes were not there just for fan service. They were actually there for a purpose. They were actually there to demonstrate us how Jiro is feeling. If Jiro is stronger than what the scene is giving us, or if he will fall into the action that Akari is taking. Because I guess you can say if he's actually strong, well, he will actually think about Shiori and he will not, go through with Akari's action. Or if he's not, well, then he will continue the play. And for Akari's part, this is showing us that she's desperate in the sense that she wants Jiro's attention. She wants Jiro's attention only to her. She doesn't want Jiro to think about Shiori or anyone else. That is a perfect way to use, I guess you can say, ecchi scenes to demonstrate how Akari is feeling and how Jiro is reacting to it. And that is one thing, like I said already, that I like about Fuufu Ijou, that they handle it very well. Because if they didn't handle those ecchi scenes very well, the anime would be a lot worse. But because that is not the case, that only adds to the anime. So that is actually pretty good that they not only handle, the whole complex of emotions really well, the interactions, the tense moment, but also those scenes where it gets a little bit more spicy. So yeah, I think I haven't said that until now, but that is what I think of those specific scenes. But yeah, I mean, that is my episode review of the episode 5. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.